Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's question and answer section. Uh, can you guys all hear me? Let me do the. Welcome, everyone. Uh, please let's message those that are on Pombo to join the conversation. Okay, you can't hear me again. Can you hear me now? Maybe I need to be audible a little bit. Can you hear me now? I think I need to. Okay, I think maybe the network or something. Uh,
Hi, Sly, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you, Tiana. Welcome,
I can
everyone.
hear you.
If you are joining- What do you say?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I know it's been a very good week for us all. And please, at any point, if you can't hear me, call my attention immediately so that I don't think I should have any issue, right? But so that I can like do a check. Babatunde Mufesola, welcome. Nini, welcome. Oyedokun, welcome. Good evening and happy Sunday to you too. Badoli, welcome. I hope you all have a good week. So we are going into another new week again, right? So we are going into another new week, and as we are going into another new week, we are also moving towards the end of this foundational program, right? And I believe so far you all have been learning one or two things, right? Even for those that already have like some basic knowledge before now. Yeah, Rebecca, welcome. Janet, welcome. I see all of you guys there. Uh, you can also like send a quick message to Pombo for those that are not here yet. So by now, uh, or today, we are going to work on two major things, right? We are going to do the question and answer. Then we're also going to do the quiz section, right? So make sure you get your student ID ready, right? Please, I'm begging you, just get that ready because it's always easy to like find and help you update your attendance, right? In the attendance sheets, right? So please make sure you do that. Shidiogo, welcome. Rebecca, I'm seeing all of you. I say Well done to you guys. And I'm seeing most of you guys post on LinkedIn. I'm seeing your post on Twitter, and I'm rooting for you all. I believe you've enjoyed lesson five, and that is why we are here today. If you enjoy lesson five, where I speak about penetration testing and security engineering, let me know in the chat before we start taking the question, right? I know a lot of question is going to come out, right? So let me know if you enjoyed that particular lesson. I want to see in the chat if you enjoyed that lesson. Okay. Okay. Uh I'm waiting for you guys. Did you enjoy lesson five? Did you enjoy lesson five? Let me know in the chat, right? I think coming class or coming question and answer, we're going to use a different approach. Though that will be announced anyway, where you'll be able to like also join the call itself, so that you can take the microphone and speak, right? So yeah, that will be announced maybe this class or the next one, right? So we're going to send updates about that, right? So, but for now, just bear with us using here. Janet, I enjoyed it. It's very educating. Okay, thank you for that feedback. Thank you for that feedback. So now we've spent. I'm just like trying to buy the time so that we can wait for other people to join the conversation so that they don't miss out a lot, right? But you can always go back to the question and answer section to like do a replay or watch the playback, right? Nini, yes, I enjoyed the class. Okay, thank you very much. Now let's start bringing our question one at a time. So let's start bringing all the question right now. Let's start bringing all the question in. Let's start bringing all the question in right now. While you are also bringing the question in, you also want to like get your student ID ready. So after the question and answer, we're going to do like the quiz, right? So get your student ID ready. And in fact, welcome to the class. Yeah, you can start dropping your question now so that I can uh, take a look at what you want to have more clarity about. Okay, start dropping your question. Start dropping your question now so that we can begin the session in proper. Okay, some people are typing already. Start sending in your question so that uh we don't take all day on question and answer. Start sending in your question now. Can I start having your question? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I don't know. I'm just trying to see if you guys can hear me. I just need to be sure that you people can hear me. Can you guys hear me? You can start bringing in your question now, or there's no question. Was the was the class so well explained that you don't have any question to ask? Tiana, please confirm if you can hear me, please. I just need to be sure people here can also hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm wondering why there's no question in the chat box. Is it that they don't have any question, or you guys are the one delaying the section?
I think we should probably wait for some minutes. Maybe they are booting
Okay, okay,
also.
okay, okay. I think someone has sent in one question now. Janet says, "How do we ensure that penetration testing is done ethically and legally?" Okay, so I've been thinking of the arrested penetration tester you mentioned. So for the penetration tester that got arrested, I hope you check the resources section of the lesson. I added a link to the article where you can read more about how it all happened, right? But if you are talking about, yeah, welcome Nafisat, welcome Rebecca. I see your question now. So if you are talking about um how to make sure you do your penetration testing ethically or legally, I told you there's rule of engagement, and uh there's also an agreement between you and the organization that you are doing penetration testing for, right? So there are some guidelines you need to follow, right? We have the open source guidelines that you can follow, what you can do, like to do your testing, right? Something like the OWAPs, right? Then something like the OSSTMM, right, which is the open source penetration testing guideline for communication industry. All of those are things that you can make sure you follow. Then also following the rule of engagement between you and the organization you are doing penetration testing for, right? So you need to like make sure you don't go out of what you both agree on in the document of rule of engagement. So if you are being told that you must only test this application and perform this testing on the application, you must not go beyond that, or you must not go above that, right? you must make sure that all your testing are within scope. Yeah. So that's the word. You must make sure that all the testing you are doing for that particular penetration testing engagements are within the scope and the rule of engagement. So if you are doing that, then you are doing your thing legally. So we have the um we have the three type of ethical hacking, right? So I don't want to take you to that level because this is more of like foundational program, right? Where we have the black hat hacker, the gray hat, and the uh, white hat hacker, right? So all of these guys, so the black hat guys are majorly doing what is what they want to do, like to gain money, right? But you doing your thing the the ethical way, you are doing this penetration testing uh for organization at this time, right? So that is what makes you actually different, right? So you are not doing what you are not supposed to do. You are doing it for organization, right? And you are doing it for you are doing it with the rule of engagement in mind and not just to for personal profit. Yeah. So let me put it that way. You are not doing it for personal profit. You are doing it to test the security of the organization. So yes. So what happened about the guy was that they didn't know. So I'm thinking maybe they didn't know uh the guy is going to like come physically to the office, right? Or probably they forgot totally that they even employ the penetration tester, right? You know, I told you there is also physical penetration tester. There are some tools that um when you are doing penetration testing, there's a lot of tools that you can actually use, even hardware devices that can use to clone that you can use to clone cards, right? So there are some of these hotel card company I mean entrances to companies or hotel or places that look like ATM, all those uh card key. Yeah. So there are tools that you can actually use to clone them while you are even doing your penetration testing. But I don't want to take you to high level way. So maybe they don't even know that this guy is going to come to the office physically, right? So he has already done what he wants to do. It was when he was even going that, oh, they just raised alarm and so you just need to. So what is key here is communication. I mentioned that several times. What is key here is communication. So you need to like define your rule of engagement properly to the organization that you are having engagement with. So you need to like make it known, oh, these are things that we are going to be doing. If you are doing phishing email, so there are some organizations that might tell you that we don't want you to do phishing email on our employee, right? And there are some of them that might say, oh, you can try to like send exploit and send malware and all of those, right? So there are some of them that might say, oh, social engineering is not allowed, but you can do phishing email. So you just need to like understand the rule of engagement and communicate that properly during your engagements. So that is what I can say to that. Now, to Rebecca question, said, can you explain more on SIM and EDR? Is it an app or what? Yeah. So when it comes to EDR, EDR means endpoint detection and response tool, right? So from the name, you should know that it is a tool, right? So and also SIM, security information event management tool, right? So SIM is so let's say okay, let me connect this now. So SIM is very easy to use for the security analyst, right? When I was talking about the security operations center, right? So SIM can help you like monitor events that is happening on the EDR, right? So when you have an EDR, right? There are a lot of EDR, but I don't want to like mention name of two here, right? So there are a lot of EDR too, right? So when you get to the advanced program, you are going to get better understanding and also make use of all of this EDR to yourself, right, during your projects. This EDR, so let's say I go to a website now. So there's this malware file called ICA file, right? ICA file. So ICA file is known to be malicious as default. So when you are testing as either penetration tester or security engineer or whatever you are trying to do now, you can try to download an ICA file, right? Download it on your device. After you've set up your EDR, EDR is going to like so EDR work like antivirus, but not an antivirus, right? So when the file is being downloaded to your device, EDR will say, "Oh, I suspect this file based on the activity that this file is trying to run in background," right? So when you launch an application or a file, you downloaded any file, maybe an exe file, executable file, so exe executable file. So you download that to your device and you run it, right? It will run some processes in the background that you don't see. So EDR will say, "Oh, based on the way this application that you just launched is behaving, I can suspect that uh this is actually likely a malware or something," right? So you need to have an EDR on your device to detect that. So endpoint is devices, right? So that is where the names come from. Endpoint detection and response tool. So it detects that, oh, this file is a malware or something, right? Then it will now respond to it immediately. How does it respond to it? EDR will help you quarantine that file immediately, right? There are some EDR that it is going to delete that file immediately, right? It will delete that file, isolate the file, and nothing is going to happen to your device. Then all of those things that EDR has saved, right? All those activities that happen with the EDR will have the log on the EDR dashboard, right? So your SIM now that has been set up to have log from different sources, you can see the log of EDR on your SIM, right? So EDR is for endpoint detection and response, right? Then the SIM make it easy for you to like have a overview of all your log sources, right? So maybe you are using EDR, you are using IDS, or I mean you are using IPS, then you are also using like firewall, right? So all of those you can send all those log to your SIM tool, right? Why you can still have those log on each of those tools, right? So let's say you have tool A, B, C, and D. You have like three tools that you are using, right? If you go to each of those tools, you can have all the logs on those two, but you can like push all of those three log down to your SIM so that you will just have like a single central location of managing all your logs, right? Not that it will delete those logs from those places anyway. So that's how I can explain SIM and EDR2 to you, right? So it's a tool, right? So that's it. Yeah, I hope that answer your question. And in fact, okay, let me answer an fact question. Okay, and in fact says, I understand that in the stage of, let me see that. Sorry, sorry, something is blocking my screen here. Trying to take that away. Okay. I understand that in the stage of cyber attack, cyber key chain, the security engineer attacks is finding out cyber attack in the early stage. However, when a security I'm not getting this your question. The security engineer attacks with finding out cyber attack in the early stage. However, when a security engineer does not, and the I'm trying to connect this your question. Oh, you send another one at the bottom. Okay. Um, I understand that in the stage of cyber attack keychain, the security engineer attacks with finding out. Okay, let me see. I understand that in the stages of cyber attack, cyber keychain, the security engineer attacks with finding out cyber attack in the early stage. However, when a security engineer does not and the hacker gain control, is the security engineer held responsible? Oh, I see that. Okay, so let me just check the second question. And if a security engineer has already built a strong network or wall and trust that they put in the IS, if your hacker is trying to get in and they. Okay, so I understand what you are trying to say now. So if in the detection stage, right? So your work as security engineer is to make sure that so there's something we call use cases, right? When you are setting up a tool, right? Let's say an EDR, or yeah, let's use EDR. Let's say when you are setting up an EDR tool right now, there are a lot of use cases that you can actually use to set up your EDR, right? So you are not just setting up EDR and leaving your EDR there just to like do things on their own, right? You are creating rules uh, of what should be sent to your SIM. It's not that you just send all the logs to your SIM from your EDR, right? No, it doesn't work that way. So I do not talk about that part, right? So that is the part of rule, right? So you have to create a rule that if someone is actually trying to do something uh, to this SSH server, right? Maybe they are trying to log in like 3 times and it keeps saying login fail, login fail. You don't want to like keep quiet about that. SSH server is very, very a critical thing, right? You want to make sure that you put that log somewhere, which is your SIM, right? So there are rules that you set up, and rules are being made up using use cases. So there are some documentation that you can actually use to do that. So you as an engineer now, your responsibility is to make sure that you set up as much as possible of use cases that you can think of, and also research online. A lot of people are talking about what is happening right there, and that is why I told you that you need to keep yourself updated about the threat landscape, right? So you set up you create the use cases. After you create the use cases, you now create the rule. Those rules are the one that will send those alerts to your SIM. So it's not just that you just no, 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 no. It's more than that. It's more than that. So if you've now set up like a use case that is not part of the one the attacker actually used to gain access, then uh I won't say the person is responsible, right? Because you are not just the only one on the team, but you want to make sure that you have a recovery plan when something happened in the organization. So that is also one part that I do not really talk deep down about, right? So in the advanced class, we are going to like walk you through, and that is one of the reasons we've been saying you need to be part of this advanced class, because you'll be doing more of practical of what the real world experience look like, right? So you'll be working with use cases, working with creating of rules, all of those, setting up rules for SIM, creating your EDR, all of those things. So you might be query for that, right? But not like, oh, you are not just the only one working in the team. And if you are the only one working in the team, maybe you are working in a small startup, you also want to like have a recovery plan so that when anything happen, you want to make sure that you can quickly recover, right? You can quickly so that is where I talk about snapshots. I talk about backup, right? That is where all of those ones comes in. You want to make sure you have like a clean backup of your company data that you can easily recover back from. Yeah. So I think I'm taking more time on each of those questions, right? So if a security engineer has already built a strong network or wall and trust that they put in the highest security as possible, if the hacker is trying to get in and they detect it, right? Yeah. So if you've set up enough rule, you should be able to like detect the bad guys, right? That you need to work with use cases. You don't just create rules in your head, right? You need that documentation is one thing. Every day you have to like document what you want to do, how you want to do them. Then you can now start creating those rules, right? So there's a part for rules and all of those where you can do all of those. The engineer can only do what they had done before. So what guarantee the hacker cannot still gain access since it was same security or higher security protocol that was. So there's no something like higher security order, right? So it depends on your level of experience, right? So that is why we have like different level of security engineer. We have the not the general security engineer, we have the senior security engineer, the lead security engineer, head of engineering, all of those things. So it depends on your level of experience. And the more you experience something, the more like you have more experience on what you need to do. But you don't want to make sure that you want to make sure that you don't get breach before you like put maximum effort in setting up maximum detection rule, right? So or are there level to the security the engineer build? Yeah, there are levels to what you build as security engineer. Are EDR responsible and action taking automate? Yeah. So I'm talking about I'm responding to Uluatobi message now. So EDR2, they so once you download a file that is suspicious, maybe that a file that is modifying the DLL file, right? A file changes something in the registry file, right? You want to make sure that EDR detects it and they isolate it. So there's a rule for EDR itself, right? So on your EDR dashboard, there's a place called policy, right? So under the policies where you set all of those things and depending on the type of EDR you are using, so they all have all their documentation that you can use, but EDR2 are always automated, so you don't need to like go there manually. Then once an EDR detects something, you send it to the SIM. So from the SIM, you get an alert, right? Then you can make further investigation, right, of what happened. So when you see that something happened, then you can still use that to like make some lists about your rules and all of those. So it's all being joined together. So all of these are combined together and work hand in hand together, right? Yeah, Favor, how are you doing today? Nafisat. So that means SIM is automated once rule has been set. Yes. So once you set your rules, depending on the tool you are using, right? Once you set your rule, even if you've set up your rule properly, you will you will have you will have peace of mind because you know that once something happen, you don't need to like go there check manually. It will alert you immediately. Like so, you have to, it's also part of it. Set your alert. Once anything comes in, once it pick it up, it alerts you immediately. You can take action. Right? There are some ways that you can even like send those alerts that come to your SIM to your email directly. So there's automation is where you should also focus on when you are talking about SIM and all of those, right? Because it will help you a lot. All of these are binded to automation, right? So you want to make sure that you don't do manual work. All of so once an alert comes in, your or your EDR receive a suspicious file, it pick it, it quarantine it, it deleted it, it log it in the log, right? It's send it directly to I mean your SIM pick it immediately. You can also set up an automation that send email to your that send notification of that alert that comes into your email, or even send it to either your Pombu or any other communication channel, right? So that's it. I think that answer Nafisat question. So SIM are always automated, right? So you don't have to do like manual stuff every time. So EDR can work independently once installed and can be programmed to take action against malware. Yes, yes. So you've answered that already yourself. Yeah. So you've answered that already yourself. So once you set up your EDR, you set up your policy, you can sit back and relax. Then when you find something like that is more suspicious, you can then like fine tune. So after you set up your EDR the first time you set up your SIM, you can continue to improve, right? You can continue to optimize um, the rules based on new detection, right? So you can continue to optimize your rules based on detection. Yeah. So I think that should answer your question, and in fact, right. Do we have more questions before we go to the quiz? 2 more minutes, then we go to take the quiz. Please, we are taking the quiz now, right? If you don't use your student ID, your attendance will not be marked. And even if you pass, if you are the one that win the quiz, you are going to be disqualified, please. So we are going to the do we have any more question? Any more question? Any other question? Just 1 minute before we start the quiz now. Okay. Sienna, do you have any other thing to say before I take the quiz? Okay, so let me get the quiz code. Tiana, can you help me with the quiz? I don't know. Can you help me with the quiz? Okay, Nafisat. Okay, so I got a question from here. Let me explain this to you. You said EDR and SIM work interdependently. Then, okay, EDR detects, send to SIM. What they respond? I've explained this before. If your EDR detects something, EDR is the one that is going to quarantine that file and delete the file, right? So that it doesn't spread on your endpoints, right? It's going to detect and respond. That is the full meaning. When something comes to my endpoint, detect it and respond to it. Maybe I should put it that way. So that is EDR for you. So when EDR has detected it and respond to it by quarantine and deleting that file, maybe a malware that's supposed to like take over your system or send back reverse connection to the attacker, EDR is going to detect it before it even like take those action, detect it and delete that file immediately, right? Then it will save all of those activities that happen, right? All the processes that were running, they were running that the EDR used to detect that this is a suspicious file is going to save all of those log inside the EDR log, right? And it's going to also attach the name of the user that owns that endpoint or the laptop or the device. So that's EDR. So EDR is the one detecting it. So EDR is just notifying you as a security analyst that, oh, something has happened on Sylvester laptop, but I have deleted that file and I have saved the log. So SIM will now say, oh, This is the information about what happened on Sylvester laptop. The security analyst will now investigate that information and then analyze it and make report about it. So EDR is the one that respond to it. Then the security analyst will now they will now keep record of all of the this part is more than this class, because when you get to the advanced class, we are going to like take you through how to respond to alert, all of those things. So it's more than what we will be discussing here. So are the rules set every day? No, 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 no. Once you set a rule, you've set a rule already, right? So once you set your rule, it's set forever. It's there forever, right? So when a new thing is detected, you can then like create another rule set for it, so that it can pick those suspicious activity, right? So but once you set your rule, you set it for that particular devices, for that particular tool. So if you are setting it up for your EDR, you are setting it up, you've set it up, unless you are not using the EDR tool again, right? Maybe you want to use another tool or another EDR tool, you have to like set it up on the EDR tool again, the policy, right? So that's how it works, right? Any other question? Okay, so I think we spent a lot of time on the question. Let me I'm trying to see how I can actually uh okay, I got this right. I hope we are okay with all the questions. I hope you are okay with all the questions. Okay, I see a lot of people have more question on the engineering part than the penetration testing part, right? That's fine. So the major question for this call is actually EDR and SIM, right? And that's a very good one, right? That's a very good one. So get ready now. I'm going to let me see. I'm going to launch the quiz now. Go and get your student ID ready. I'm bringing up the quiz right now. Okay. Okay. Yes, yes, of course. Akim, of course, you can reset your rules. You can delete rules. And even if you've already set a rules, you can go there to modify it. So it doesn't matter. You can go there to like modify your rules. So is always customizable, right? You are the one that's, so it's not that it's there on default. So you can set your rule, you can edit your rule, you can delete your rule. Just like, let's say you have like a Google document, right? You can modify it, you can edit it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. Yeah. So that's how it works. Sorry, I'm trying to. This is my first time of bringing out the quiz. Trying to bring it out right now. Okay, start now. How do I share? Okay, I think it's coming up now. Yeah. Yes, I'm trying to bring up the quiz. uh, Okay, yeah. So I have it now. Let me share my screen now. Uh may we not be arrested as a penetration tester. That's hilarious. Okay, so this is the link. So you can start joining now. Do I have my do I have my mic turned on or something? Just to be sure. Okay, so I think we should start now. I'm going to click start. Okay, so I think we already have now already. So I'll just put it here. Oh, well, I placed it here.
Hi guys. Hello, can you
Oh,
speak again, Sylvester?
oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Oh, sorry, sorry. I was speaking. I don't know that it was muted. Sorry.
All right.
So, I think that's a fair one. It's a nice experience actually. So our we already have the winner for today, right? I know a lot of people actually uh get like good number of question right, why some people don't get it right, right? So that does not mean you are not doing well. You are doing well for yourself, right? You just need to make sure you pay more attention to the lessons and also make sure you take as much note as possible, go over those lessons again, and trust me, you are going to get there, right? So later after this call, we are going to announce the winner. We already have the winner from the leaderboard, right? So we're going to send that to the Pombu channel so that everyone can also. I think I will send the first, second, third also to the Pombu channel so that everyone can also see, right? So that's pretty much everything for today. Thank you for joining the section. I hope you learned one or two more things today, and I hope to see you in the next question and answer section. Uh, if you have any other question, make sure you can send them on Pombo. We're going to respond to it, right? Like I said, most of the things we are uh, teaching you on now, they are like the foundational thing we think you should know, right? So if you like, we have the career pathway program that takes you from this level to the level that you will be ready for job, right? To the level you'll be job ready, right? So because the talent pipeline is growing very fast and you want to make sure that you are doing the right thing the right way, right? Because when I started my career in IT as web developer, I was learning a lot of programming languages, right? Because I thought I needed them, right? Fine, I needed some of them, but not everything. I wasn't learning in a structural way, and that is why we created Shieldora for you guys, so that you can have like a structured way. You don't learn a lot of things at the same time. You focus on one thing, learn them properly, and in a structural manner that will get you to that point where you can be ready for job and opportunity. Some of you are already having that foundational knowledge. We just want to like experience what it look like to have people in the industry take you through the uh, pathways and see how we can help you leverage structure to improve your learning and achieve your goals, right? So I wish you good luck all, and I also wish myself good luck in everything I do, right? So This will be the end of today's section. We are going to send other updates to the channel. First, second, third, you are going to see yourself. Then the first person will get rewarded, right? Then we'll do that the next week. Remember, uh lesson 6 will be released this week. While you go about your daily day-to-day activities, make sure that you also go back to some of those lessons. You can rewatch, you still have access to them. You can rewatch some of those lessons and take note again, learn new thing, right? So that's pretty much it. So thank you for joining everyone, and I will catch up with you on Pombo. Right. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you, Tiana.
Thank you. Bye.